Is Monday really the worst day of the week? Or is it just the beginning of the week and you have no clue what you have to get done, so you're hustling and just getting tired all day? That sounds more like it. Hi everyone and welcome back to Plan for Productivity. For those of you who are new, my name is Andrea, and in today's video I want to talk to you guys about how you can solve that issue of struggling and hustling every week and not having a clue what it is you need to get done. No more. Mondays should be your favorite day. At least they don't have to, I don't want to walk you through the whole process of planning my week. That can be a little bit more dense. Instead, I just want to simplify it and give you guys a system, because systems just make our lives so much better. System's like a good place to insert a quote, and it reads, "A good system shortens the road to the goal." And I live by this, not by this quote because I just found it, but by this principle that just as, James Clear says in his book Atomic Habits, it's so much better to set up systems than goals. And if you set up the goal of planning your week, every Sunday, then that's kind of messy, Are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? What do you have to do? No, it's too much work. So it's so much simpler to just set up a system, a couple of things that you have to go through for planning your week that will allow you to actually do it simply without being complicated, so that when Monday starts, instead of having to figure out what you need to do the week, you can just get straight to work, stress-free. Grab your cup of coffee and let's get started. Disclosure, I just have to say, before I start planning my week, I always do a weekly reflection, I always do a weekly review, and just have to do that. So here's a link to the video that I made showing you a weekly reflection checklist. Hope that helps. If you don't do this, whatever, it's fine, you can still move on. I just think it's a very worthy part of your weekly routine. So on to the planning, and I'm just gonna focus on planning this spread on the bullet journal. So I call this a weekly board. The idea behind this checklist is to just have a preview of the week before it starts. And there are 4 things that I think are essential to this weekly planning, and that is planning your goals, planning the events, planning the things you have to get done, and keeping track of whatever it is that you're aiming for at the moment. So the first thing is I obviously write the week number. This is how I keep track of my projects, so it's very helpful. Obviously the dates, make some little boxes for the events, just because that will give me a very good bird's eye view of where I have to be at this week and what are the things that are super important for me to attend to or to get done or to show up for this week. Right after that comes the most important part of this weekly planning session, which is setting up your goals. So in my bullet journal, I just create a little space that either says goals or outcomes, whatever I'm feeling for that week. And I go by the major things that I'm working through in my life and what I want to achieve that week for those specific goals. This is usually based on my monthly goals or my yearly goals or anything that I actually want to work on towards that week. I try to limit this number to 3 to 5 goals, which is a lot to include for a week. Sometimes these are just like very big things that I have to accomplish. Other times they'll be like things that I have to do every single day, for example. Then comes the next part, which is very basic. I feel everybody does this. Some people limit their weekly spreads to just writing the days of the week, and they don't have a little box to write the tasks that they need to get done any day that week. And I feel like this is hindering your process, because sometimes you don't have to do something Monday morning. Like, I don't have to wash my white laundry Monday afternoon. Like, who cares if I do it Wednesday? I can wear black Tuesday, it doesn't really matter. So it's so much better to just have a space to drop all those little things that you have to get done, just so that they're not clogging your mind and your day. That way, when you look at your day, you can just focus on what you actually have to accomplish. And finally, the funnest part of this spread is creating any trackers for anything that you want to focus on that week. So usually I try to think of something like, let's say I'm going to focus on studying this week and I'll create a study log, or on getting back to my sleep routine and I'll create a sleep log. Or sometimes I'd rather track my habits on a weekly basis than on a monthly basis, so I'll create a mini habit tracker. Whatever it is you want to keep track of this week, put it there on this little page that I call the weekly board. And that is it. 4 things, 4 little checklist items that you have to keep track of every week and to create in your little bullet journal setup every week to make sure that you're staying on top of your goals, on top of your routines, on top of the things that you committed to. And this, like I just mentioned, is what I call the weekly board. Shameless plug over here, but this is a topic that I talk extensively about in my book, Journal Planning Magic, as part of the chapter on getting organized and planning basically your life. If you're interested, you can pre-order it now. It's available on all places on the internet. I'll leave the link in the description below. And if you do pre-order it, make sure to send me an email or a DM, and I will make sure to send you guys a little goal planning template that comes with the book so that you can use it over and over and over again. In the book, I talk about other topics related to planning out your week and your month in order to avoid that feeling that I was talking about in the beginning of the video of like chasing your life and just not knowing how to handle things. But, end of plug, this little system that I just shared with you guys is very basic. You don't have to do all of these steps every single week. If this week you don't want to track anything, don't track it. If this week you don't have events, don't create a mini calendar. It doesn't matter. The idea is that if you go through this checklist in your head, you will probably be more organized and stay on top of the things that you have to plan every single week, and therefore not just be like running through life, but rather be in charge of it. That is it for this video, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I would love to have you guys back here. And if you created a weekly board of your own, make sure to tag me on Instagram so I can share what you guys did and I can see how this is helping you guys, and maybe I can get some inspiration myself. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below and I will answer as soon as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye!